now that we've covered migrating data to Google Sheets and migrating data to an email address, we're finally going to cover migrating data from your bot in Chatfuel to a MailChimp list. Now, you can do the same if you have other mailing service providers like Constant Contact or anything else, so long as they are supported by Zapier, this, again, third-party intermediary that communicates data from the bot to other services that are supported by it. So to do this, just like in the previous example, we're going to create another JSON API. So create a new plugin and JSON API. Again, change the type to post, and we need to get a new URL in Zapier. So new Zap, and again, webhook. Great. Catch hook. Continue, ignore the child key, and then copy this new link. This will be a new link. It won't be the same one. Otherwise, it would communicate with the same hook as previous. So now, for the user attributes, let's include, because what will happen with this is we want people to be onboarded when they enter their email in this contact form, assuming that they've given us permission to email them. What we want to happen is we want to take the email that they've submitted and send them information. So again, assuming they're inquiring about catering, we want to immediately email them, say, a pricing guide, a pricing structure for how much catering will cost. Granted, we can do that already in a chatbot just by going to another block, but assuming you have an amazing email marketing campaign design with tons of sequences and automation, you can still onboard people through the information they enter in Chatfuel. So for user attributes, since this is a mailing list and we have the ability to use first names and last names to customize our messages, let's pass through some of that basic data that we haven't gathered, but that Facebook and Chatfuel already have for us. So for those attributes, let's get first name, last name, and then let's also get the email address. Obviously, the email is very important. Without that, you can't get people onto your mailing list. So those are all the attributes that we want to transfer to Zapier. So let's go back here. And again, first we have to test and get the data to pass through before this will actually work. So let's test the bot again, go through the process. So contact. What's the date? Again, I'll just enter completely random information. This time I will enter my email. More random information. Great. So I've gotten the success message that my inquiry has been received. So now we're going to go back into Zapier. Okay, I did this. Make sure that the data passed through. It'll take a minute. Got the check mark. Awesome. So view your hook, make sure the data passed through correctly. First name is correct, last name is correct, email is correct. Sweet. So continue, and now we connect to MailChimp. Again, this will work with any mail provider as long as they are supported by Zapier. So let's select MailChimp now and connect our account. So we have a ton of different options here. Let's create add or update subscriber, assuming these people are new subscribers when they submit the information. Now let's connect an account. I believe it's already connected, but let's try again. Okay, I guess it wasn't. So new MailChimp account, great. Save and continue once you're connected. So for the list, let's create a new list in MailChimp. So to do that, log in, go to lists, create list, and I will name the list Udemy list. The default from email will be whatever email you use on your mailing list. The from name, self-explanatory, your name, the name of your brand, etc. I'll skip over all this other information and save. And I forgot one piece of information. You joined this mailing list by submitting your email address in our chatbot on Facebook. Save. Great, so now we have a new list created. So let's go back into Zapier add the list that we've created, which was Udemy list. And for the subscriber email, since we have that data saved in the webhook, we go here and select the email attribute. For double opt-in, that's if you want to be super cautious, because technically people could enter somebody else's email, get them on your list, and that could potentially create legal problems if you consistently spam them, if there's no ability to unsubscribe. So I would definitely recommend double opt-in, but consult a legal professional on that. Send welcome email. So this is very important. So send welcome email. Yes, that means as soon as somebody subscribes, as soon as this webhook is triggered, they get that welcome email. And we'll set that up in MailChimp right now. So to set up a welcome email, go to automation, create a new automation by clicking add automation, and then search welcome. And scroll all the way down to welcome message, add automation. Make sure the correct list is selected, Udemy list, and I will name this Udemy list automation. Obviously, you can be more creative and organize your naming better, but just for demonstrational purposes, I'll stick with this. Then click edit trigger, and technically this can depend on your preferences, but I choose to immediately trigger this action as soon as somebody subscribes. So change trigger, or actually cancel trigger, and then for delay, change it from wait 1 day to immediately, update trigger, and all of this other information is fine. Let's hit next, and let's add a subject to the email. I'll just call it catering pricing. Continue, and for simplicity, I will just create a very simple text layout. I'll delete all of this. And again, if you already have an email designed, you won't have to go through this process. I'm just doing it for this video. Great. So now that we have our welcome message set, hit next. And we have an issue, which is default content. So it's saying that the default content, we didn't edit it. So I'll just make a basic edit, say, here's your catering pricing sheet. And save and continue. And that should resolve our error. Great. So now start workflow. Cool. So the automation is all set up. We have the list set up. So now back in Zapier, the send welcome email, now that we actually have a welcome email, that will send as soon as somebody enters their email on the chatbot, because that will add them to the list, assuming we have double opt-in disabled. Otherwise, it will only send after people double opt-in. And then that welcome email will send out. And that's all you need to do. You can also add the first and last name user attributes that we passed through to keep that on file in your database. Great, so you have all this information set up. Hit create and continue. It'll add the subscriber that we passed through on the list. So if we go to lists, and okay, it didn't yet, but that's okay, because we didn't actually turn on this app, that's why. So if we hit finish, name Zap, Chatfuel to MailChimp, and we can turn on the Zap. Great. So we have everything that we need set up. The Zap is on. And now whenever somebody submits a contact form and enters their email, and you already have their first and last name, so whenever they enter an email, they'll automatically be onboarded onto your MailChimp marketing campaign. And that's how you can use Zapier to integrate third-party services with your chatbot for extreme functionality and really taking your marketing to the next level.